Meanwhile, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are criticizing President Biden's decision not to provide F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me live from Capitol Hill with more on that. Jay, Congress is back in session today, so what are you hearing from members about how they think it's best to support Ukraine?
Well, there has been, as you just said, Diane, that bipartisan push to provide the Ukrainians with F-16 fighter jets. It has bipartisan support from earlier this month. Now, in the last few days, a lot of the criticism we've seen has emerged from Republicans who say they want President Biden to provide the Ukrainians with these F-16s. In that most recent $2 billion aid package on the anniversary of the invasion, it did not include those jets. President Biden told David Muir, as you'll recall, in that exclusive interview, that he doesn't believe the Ukrainians need the F-16s right now. U.S. officials don't believe that the Ukrainians need those. But we're hearing from Republicans like Mike McCaul, the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, who says Ukraine needs those fighter jets in addition to more artillery rounds. And he believes providing those could quicken the pace of Ukrainian success in this conflict. And like you said, Congress back now, so we're likely to hear more and more lawmakers emerging over the next few days trying to push the administration to try to provide those jets. And if the administration doesn't, taking some kind of legislative action to force their hand.
Now, concerns are growing about China's ties to Russia. The National Security Advisor tells ABC News that China hasn't provided weapons to Russia yet, but they haven't taken it off the table. So how is Congress approaching that?
Well, there's bipartisan support in Congress, as we've talked about for a long time, you and I, in confronting China. The question becomes, how does the legislative branch try to confront China? And that's still an open question. But we know right now that lawmakers want to delve into this issue. Tomorrow, for example, there are two different hearings in two different committees tackling the idea of China. One is in the Foreign Affairs Committee, and then in prime time at 7 o'clock is the first meeting of that new House Select Committee on China, a priority of Republicans when they took power in the House, but a bipartisan endeavor because Democrats voted for the committee too, and it's a bipartisan committee. That committee says it's going to look at China, it's going to look at human rights abuses, it's going to look at things like TikTok, and what comes out of that committee, in addition to places like the Foreign Affairs Committee, is something we're going to be watching closely because, again, big interest in this building in confronting China.
Meanwhile, Jay, some lawmakers are also promising to hold hearings about the toxic train derailment in Ohio. What can we expect on that front?
Well, it's split in how lawmakers want to confront this on both sides of the aisle. So Republicans using this as an example of trying to hold the administration to account and provide oversight. We know that there's an inquiry in the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which is controlled by Republicans because Republicans control the House, into the EPA. They've requested already information from the EPA, including a detailed timeline of events from the derailment onwards. Republicans saying they want to hold the administration accountable for their response there. We've heard from Democrats who say they are interested in this as well, and they want to hold the train company accountable, Norfolk Southern accountable. We've heard rumblings that the CEO might be called to testify before some hearings in the Senate and possibly the House. So interest in this building in dealing with that issue, but again, it varies on either side of the aisle how they want to tackle this problem.
All right, Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Jay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.